One of the country's major retailers has started rationing how many eggs customers can buy. The outbreak of avian flu has hit poultry and egg stocks hard, with millions of birds already culled this year. And now egg production has dropped dramatically. Let's speak to Pillay, Commercial Director at Woolworths Food. Mr. Pillay, thank you so much for joining us. To your knowledge, is Woolworths the first retailer to implement these rations?
Yeah, good evening, Sally. I'm not sure who has and hasn't. I mean, we at Woolworths, firstly, thank you for the opportunity of being able to chat with you. I think we at Woolworths are anchored in quality and safety first, and we only sell free-range eggs. So I think on these bases, we've seen the impact of avian flu, particularly in Gauteng and KZN. And we've taken a decision to prioritize all products that use eggs first, and therefore had to go down a road of being able to ration, 6 per customer to ensure that we've got sufficient availability for our overall customer base. 1 and 2 is to ensure our supplier partners for all our customers' favorite products have also got availability of free-range eggs.
All right. So, in other words, the goods you produce, the bakery items that contain eggs, you've had to prioritize being able to continue to make those. So this is one of the reasons why you've had to put in the 6 eggs per customer rule. Am I right?
Absolutely correct. And for us, safety and quality is first. And as you know, Woolworths, we only sell free-range eggs.
Yeah.
So to ensure our protocol is available for all our supplier partners and all our customers' favorite products, it's critical.
Is this just in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal, or is it countrywide at Woolworths stores across the country?
No, so I think we impacted nationally from an overall egg supply point of view. And what we've needed to do is review our volumes across the country and ensure all our supply partners that are stationed across the country have sufficient eggs for production of associated product.
Do you have any idea how long this is going to last?
Yeah, Sally, the situation is fairly fluid and changing on a daily basis. We think roughly 6 to 8 weeks. That's our kind of outlook at this stage. But we are working very closely, with all bodies to ensure the situation is stabilized and we have sufficient eggs available.
Mm. And you made the point up front that Woolies only stocks free-range eggs, and you're not aware of which other retailers are potentially looking at rationing. But I had a quick look at the Checkers 60 site and also your site, and I noticed that there was stock out on all the eggs on Checkers 60 site. I've had a number of colleagues and friends saying the same thing. They're battling to find eggs on our shelves. Have you noticed panic buying? Is that a factor that you also have had to consider when putting in place the rationing?
Yes, Sally, with respect to that, we have seen an increase in egg sales. And again, our priority is to balance 2 things: the Woolworths brand product that contains eggs, as well as ensuring we've got sufficient eggs available, or being able to spread what is available, I should say, for all our customers visiting our stores.
Mm. Are prices going up? Are egg prices going up? I mean, I would imagine that farmers are dealing with massive losses. And I spoke to someone yesterday in insurance who said that insurance doesn't cover pandemic losses, which means that the farmers are going to have to deal with these huge losses in eggs and poultry. Inevitably, I would imagine that's going to push the price of eggs up. Is that happening?
Yeah, we haven't seen that just yet, Sally. We're working very closely with our supplier partners. Our way of really kind of working with our partners is a collaboration basis, and we work with our supplier base to ensure that this pandemic has definitely hurt the industry. So we're going to work very closely with them over the coming weeks to understand the impacts. But right now, our priority is getting back to supply and then understanding what does that mean from an impact point of view on pricing.
Talk to me about how it's affected. My understanding is that 20 to 30% of South Africa's poultry has been affected by this avian flu. But obviously you deal, as you say, with free-range farmers, and you have your specific supply lines at Woolworths. Just give me some of the sense of what you're hearing from those producers on the impact on their industry.
Yeah, Sally, we have a supplier base that supply us across the country. We work very closely with them. As I said right up front, and in a significant amount of our egg layers have been impacted. and therefore kind of having to work with our suppliers to make sure we can really have sufficient production available. But to your point is, I mean, I think in our base, your number's not far off.
Yeah. And as you say, it could be 6 to 8 weeks. Do you get a sense, or do you have any information on whether, and we know how pandemics work from COVID-19, there is a peak and then there seems to be some sort of immunity or perhaps an increase in vaccination, which I know is something that the Agriculture Minister is seized with. Are you in any, do you have any information on whether we're through the worst yet, or is it still going to get worse than this?
Yeah, again, based on the information we have, I mean, particularly, as I said, it's prevalent in Gauteng and KZN. I think what is important is having some good hot weather up there, and that generally starts to I think deal with the virus to some degree, and also having good rains and not having a lot of wind. So I think weather does play a key role in this. Right now we're in a situation where, as I said, things are fairly fluid and things are changing by the day. So we remain anchored and working, as I said, very closely with our partners. I can't give you a fixed timeline on whether we're through the worst.
Does Woolworths import chickens, import eggs? Is that an option?
No, it's so at this stage, I mean, we're 100% locally based. And again, from a raw material point of view, everything we're doing from an egg perspective and a chicken point of view is all local. What we are looking to do is understand the impact on the industry and how long that will be, and that'll take the next couple of days. We're working very closely with everyone to understand that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being available just to give us the picture and what is happening at Woolworths. That was Pillay. He's commercial director for Woolworths Food, and the retailer has decided to implement a 6 eggs per person ration because of the avian flu outbreak, explaining, of course, that they've been hit particularly hard because they only buy free-range eggs. But if you look at the supermarket shelves of other retailers, or you go online for other retailers, you could see that there's a lot of stockouts on eggs. And what Mr. Pillay was saying is they're expecting it to last for between 6 and 8 weeks. So this is a problem that's not going to go away quickly. We have not as yet heard of other retailers following suit, but what we do understand is that a number of other big supermarkets are considering whether they need to implement specific rations as Woolworths has. Following the story closely, we'll keep you updated.